Hey Ryder, this is Adrian Gomez. Thanks for tuning in. I apologize for not getting this to you earlier, and we're gonna look at what we can do to help you. So right now, you're sitting at 104 degrees, which is actually fabulous, which is what we want. So you sit into that. You're pushing off, and then I'm driving through. Now, your front leg plant's way too early, especially for someone who has that much squat in their back leg. So you put that front leg down way too early, and what you're getting out of that is a decreased angle, and you can see this right here. It's only 97 degrees. What we need to do is get this maybe a foot further. Now we get 105. So that's about 8 degrees that you're going to get just by putting your foot out about another foot. So that's something I really want you to work on, is getting further with that front leg, and that's going to help you really drive through that front side and get further out. You're throwing with a lot of arm, and you could be throwing with a lot less and more legs. Okay, planning into that front leg, let's look at your front knee. This is what we call an internally rotated front knee. You're about 10-degree variance in that front knee. So with that 10-degree variance, what that means is your hips can't rotate until your knee's over your ankle. Let's measure this next one as well. So it's all equaled out. The knee's all proper. You're about 116. 114, somewhere in there. So let's see what happens as you drive the ball. So you come up quite a bit, and that's what we want to see. 138. That's awesome. So if you can do that, you're doing it well. That front knee's coming back, and what that front knee does is it allows your chest to drive through. But if it was further, you wouldn't even have to bring your knee back, because you would have stuck that front leg almost straight and then being able to drive that chest right over. So that's definitely something I want to work on, that front knee. Internally rotated, you're not driving as far as you could, and the angle of it is low at first, and then it's high. But if you went out another foot, man, everything would change. All right, let's look at your posture, ball release. Throwing the ball, you're what we call a B or a C posture. You're really tilted. What that means is if you're going to squat this far down with your chest forward, you're going to have to bring your head all the way to this spot to throw the ball, and that's a lot of head movement that you're missing out on. I'd like you to not squat so far, to stay back at least even, and be able to go from here to there, have less head movement, and your axis is going to be better as far as rotation. So work on your posture, stay back a little bit on that. Let's look at release point. Your release point's way too early, so you're releasing, back behind your right over your toe, your front toe, and I want to release probably a foot outside of that front foot. So you're not only going to have to drive that front foot, but now you're going to have to drive that chest and get extended as far as you can. That's going to help stress of the arm as well. A lot of the stress in the shoulder comes from the release point and releasing too late. So, all right. So getting into stacking now. So release point is a weakness. That's definitely something I want you to work on. So you do a great job of squatting, but this ball comes out of your gloves way too early. So the players are able to see it here between your legs, here back behind you, and be able to track it the whole time. Then it comes out. So it's really easy to see the ball 3 times. It's a lot easier to hit a ball when they can see it 3 times. So I want you to hold that ball in the glove for as long as you can, let it separate, and be able to drive through that. So stacking is going to play a key role in that, keeping that ball in the glove, driving with your chest. Even here, your ball should be in glove. Now you should start being separated, and then separate and then drive. But you're going to have to drive out further with that front leg and get into that a little bit more. So, all right, so that's stacking. Let's look at your front glove. Your front glove comes from bent. Now you're straightening it, and now you're trying to bend it again. So what that means is you're going from bent to straight to bent again. Why not just stay bent and pinch into that? So you do a good job of pinching at the end, but you don't do a good job of keeping your elbow bent. You're just wasting time that you could have been pinching and driving and pulling to drive that chest through better. So front glove needs work. All that's online, by the way, 212athlete.com. Elbow straight on line, looks pretty good. You're driving through with your chest, you're keeping this around, looks pretty good. So no high elbow, we're good there. Chest extension, this is where I think you could benefit from the training. You're about 38 degrees, and I'd like to get to about 50, somewhere in there. So another 2 inches, 3 inches. Front knee's got to come back, and your chest has got to go through. So chest extension, definitely something that I want you to work on. It's only 2 or 3 inches, but it makes a huge difference. So right here, we're looking at your arm fly out. Right here, you should be driving through, but instead of driving through, your arm goes out of that elbow. It's what we call an arm fly out. So that's something definitely you need to work on. So watch this multiple times. Look at all of the weaknesses that are described, and go online. You'll have access to that, and you'll be able to fix each weakness, look at each weakness, do the drills that are selected for that weakness, and work towards it. Thanks for being a part of 212 Athlete.